This week, there was a lot of troubling news, from mass shootings in California to police brutality in Memphis to aggression in Ukraine and beyond. All of these acts of violence can leave us seeking answers, seeking meaning, perhaps even seeking consequences for those who have perpetrated acts of violence. And indeed, the Torah does teach us, tzedek tzedek tirdof, justice, justice you shall pursue. It is important for justice to be done in the wake of a wrong. However, it's also important, the Torah teaches us, to pursue teshuva, for those who have committed acts of harm to be able to repent and to repair the world in the wake of the wrongs that they have done. I'm thinking in particular of a story that teaches us that it is not so much about a person being wrong, but rather an act being wrong, which can then be repaired. This story is told in the Talmud in Masechet Brachot, the tractate about prayer and blessings, in which Rabbi Meir, one of our foremost sages, is praying because there are hooligans in his neighborhood that are causing trouble and are really grieving him. And so he prays to God that the hooligans may cease from the earth. But his wife, Ruria, overhears this prayer and tells him, no, it's not right to pray that the sinners themselves cease from the earth, rather that sin ceases from the earth. Don't pray that the hooligans should disappear or die, God forbid, rather that they repent and that their sins cease, that the trouble they are causing goes away, but not themselves. And Rabbi Meir sees that she is correct, and he changes his prayer, and it is answered. So how can we think about this as a paradigm for treating those who have committed acts of harm in our own communities? We often have a tendency in our society to just imprison after a crime, put that away, put people out of our sight, out of mind. But people also come back into society after having served a sentence. And it's important to think about, how do they make amends? How do they help repair the world that they have harmed? And how can their lives go on to be productive so that the sinner does not cease from the earth, only the sin? I'm inspired by thinking especially about some work that I did before I became a rabbi at the Crown Heights Community Mediation Center in Brooklyn. There they had a program working to end gun violence there in Brooklyn, where several people who themselves had been involved in the gun violence scene at one time had changed their lives. Some of them had been to prison and had come back to the community and now really wanted to end the gun violence that they had been a part of themselves. They saw the harm that had been caused, they saw the error of their ways, and instead they would do work through this program called Save Our Streets to interrupt violent situations, go and mediate conflicts. They would also do outreach to those at risk of being involved in gun violence, and therefore repair those situations that they had once caused harm to. And this was such an inspiring story to me that it helped me think about, what does it mean for, in the wake of harm being done, to not only punish, to not only seek justice, but to really repair and to repent and to create a world that is better than it once was. Join us on Sunday night, where we're having a conversation about criminal justice and reentry and recidivism through the Living Room Conversations on Zoom, Sunday night at 7, to continue this conversation.